Village Manor versus Destiny Ledford. Miss Ledford, your case is a non-payment of rent. No, it's a termination of tenancy. In this case, they served a notice to quit on you on September 18th. They sent you a long letter dated September 15th, listing a number of violations of your lease, which is why they're asking to terminate your tenancy. They want you to move. What's your position?
I had bought a car and I was trying to get it registered. There was a problem with the registration. They told me to get it off the property. I continued to get it off the property. They towed it. I had bought a new car just after that, and then they had towed that car also. And they just kept giving me the tags because I had no registration and insurance, but I had appointments and everything.
All right, so what you're telling me is you don't wish to move.
No.
Normally, we would have a representative from legal aid here to assist. A lot of these allegations in that letter have to do with your car, parking it, servicing it. There are some other allegations in here in addition to the car that they want you to move. If you get evicted from a residential property, especially if it's subsidized, it's very difficult to get into another subsidized complex. How much is your rent?
At the moment, I don't pay anything but utilities, which is gas and electric.
All right, so your rent is zero. You're going to have a very hard time finding a place where the rent is zero. And if you get evicted, you won't be able to get into another subsidized place. You could certainly use some legal advice, and I would suggest that you contact legal aid. But the law says I have to adjourn this at least 7 days. I'm going to go 10 days with this.
Thank you so much.
But you are on the precipice of being evicted. Now, they can't just say, okay, this is this, and we're going to do it. Nope, I can't go 10 days. They won't be here. So we're going to continue this to next Friday. I would strongly suggest that you contact legal aid.
Okay.
I'm going to continue this to Friday, November 21st at 11 a.m.
Judge Middleton, may I make one comment?
Yes.
After the notice was filed, it came to the attention from Sturgis that she had removed the utilities from her name and placed them back in the property's name. And obviously she receives a utility check. So they've been placed back in the property. My argument obviously is pursuant to the law that we can bring additional. And so we would be referencing that as another point of termination, as she currently does not have utilities in her name. We only became aware of that after the notice and actually after the complaint was filed.
All right. So even if there is a defense with the cars, not having utilities as your name is a cause for termination. So apparently you got to, I don't know what happened there, but the complex is now paying your utilities. So you should do a couple things. One, try to get some legal advice, and two, try to find a place to move to, because it sounds like they've got enough ammunition to terminate your tenancy. Now there's an intermediate step which could help your cause. That would be the filing of what's called a conditional order of dismissal. You could talk to them and see if you would agree to move by a certain date. And if you would do that, they can dismiss the case and it would not show up as an eviction on your record. But if you get a hard eviction, the worst case scenario, we have a hearing next Friday, the 21st. They establish good cause to terminate your tenancy. I would give you 10 days to move out, and you'd have to be out by December 1st, or the sheriff could come and put you out.
All right.
So that's the worst case. The best case is perhaps you could negotiate some sort of an agreement where you would agree to leave. But they're going to amend it to show that the utilities aren't in your name. What happened with that?
Where my utilities, I needed state emergency relief, and I'm guessing that they just went ahead and signed them back into their name since they were evicting me. Or they were too high, I'm not sure.
Who's they? The complex?
Yeah.
Ms. Cousineau, that doesn't sound right. Did the complex put the utilities back in your name?
No, Sturgis Electric informed me that she had called.
Yeah.
And transferred it into our name.
All right, well, we'll address this further next Friday, November 21st at 11 a.m.
Judge, I think you mentioned 10 days.
I did, but I'm not gonna be here on the 24th.
Okay.
So I was gonna kick it out to Monday because I think Meg Bauer is also gone from legal aid. But I'm gone the 24th and 25th. And so I can't kick it to that. And then it's Thanksgiving. Otherwise, I would kick it all the way out to
21st is okay with us, Judge, and if she contacts us, we would be willing to work out an arrangement for her with extra time. So she reaches out.
all right, so let's repeat that. That's very common, that they'll work with people to see if they can come up with a conditional order of dismissal. Now, the firm is Brian Butchart's firm. Mr. Gromer is also one of the partners. The phone number is on the summons, 248-731-7810. You can call them and discuss a possible resolution, okay? Where are you now? Looks like you're at a Wi-Fi place. Miss Ledford, where are you right now? Must be very cold because she's frozen. Now she's gone. All right,
reach
well,
out to her.
she
We
got
will
the
reach
date,
out.
November 21 at 11, and if she gets it. But yeah, her story about what happened and your manager's story do not match, and I know which one I think is accurate. All right, well, thank you. Is that it for you today?
It is, Judge. I had 3 dismissals that we sent in this morning.
Yes, you did, which we appreciate. Riverside Townhouses, you sent in 4.
4, yes. Sorry, Judge.
So thank you. And that gave us a little time to do some other things.
All right. Have a great weekend. Thank you to you and your staff.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Leslie Talbert is here with us. This is file 252161. Ms. Talbert, is Wayne there also?
No, he's at work.
All right, well, that's probably a good place to be. Ms. Moreland's making a guest appearance.
You'll have to show me. Oh, thanks.
Where is Wayne working?
He works at Morgan Olson.
Okay, I guess I knew that. All right, Miss Richmond, what's the arrearage here?
It's 148.19 through yesterday. So today another 250 is due. So it's shows 398.
19
Yes, 398.19.
through when?
The 20th of November. But let's see, and then if I
All right, and then court costs,
184.35. But I'm trying to figure out how to. Rent is $250.
I get $582.54.
Yeah, that's right.
Ms. Talbert, do you agree with that or disagree?
I disagree. I'm confused now. I came in the other day and it's all confusing. And we talk. I try to catch them in the office, but not always. They're there. She gave me a balance of $738. That was $738.19. And that was through the 13th, which was yesterday. So
Okay,
we paid that money order of $250. That was until the 13th. And then I brought another money order in yesterday. And that was for $350.
Okay.
all right. So that's 600. He had 148. You were $10 off. So 238.19. Is there a $10 late fee or something in there, Miss Richmond?
Yes,
All right, so that's the difference. 138 plus $10. So that's through the 13th. So we're in agreement. 148.13. But now we're gonna reconvene next Friday, the 21st. So I put in next week. There's another 250 for next week. So that would pay your rent through next Friday.
Of what all just the 350 and the 250.
Well, you owed 738.
Yeah.
250 and 350 is $600. So
Okay.
that leaves 138.19.
Got that.
She added a $10 late fee, which brings us to 148.19, which is
Okay.
pays your rent up through the 13th. We had 250 for the 13th to the 20th, which is yesterday through next Thursday. And then that's how much you'll owe when we come back next week. I think you're
Okay.
gonna take care of
another,
this. And then the filing fee and the service fee adds up to 184.35. It's a little more when they have to serve 2 people. So there's no attorney fee in there. So the total due is 582.54.
Okay.
All right, the law requires that I adjourn this 7 days. So we're gonna bump this to next week. And let's see if Miss Richmond's already here.
yes, sir, I am 155 and 2.
All right, we'll do this for 205.
All right, thanks.
11/21/25. Ms. Talbert, I suspect you're gonna take care of this. If it's all paid off by then, you don't even need to be here. If it isn't paid off, we'll discuss it further at that time. And there could be another week's rent added to it, but it sounds like you're on top of it. You've been making big payments. You got it down. Problem is when you get into this situation, then you get the court fees. So there's
Yeah.
$184 worth of stuff that makes it worse than it was. But I think you're gonna take care of this. And
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
what was
gonna,
confusing me.
all right, I think we're on the same page. All right, you're good to go. If you have any questions.
No, sir.
All right, I'll see you next week. But if you pay everything, you don't even need to come. So you know how to stay in contact with your landlord.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
just give me a call, Leslie. Or come
Okay.
see me.
All right, I will.
All
Bye-bye.
right, thanks.
All right, next we have a damage hearing in the middle of all this, which I don't always like, but it doesn't appear that the defendant is here. This is a case for supplemental damages in Terry and Larry Richmond versus Dwayne Whitson and Jack Moore. This was a co-signing situation. There was a previous possession judgment. Ms. Richmond has filed a complaint for supplemental damages, which we will address here. Ms. Richmond, would you please raise your right hand?
Okay, I got Lydia and Larry here too.
All right. I think we'll be all right. Larry, as long as you're there, otherwise, I got some questions I want to ask you while you're under oath, so
Okay,
they
sir.
might not have anything to do with this, but as long as you're under oath.
That's fine. Anything I can do to help you.
You both swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes, sir.
We have Terry and Larry Richmond, who are the co-landlords in this matter. We did a possession judgment by consent. Mr. Whitson agreed to move. He left all the appliances in place, and that was back in June. Ms. Richmond, you are asking for a pretty substantial claim. You get a very big deposit. And that's
Did you look at the
helpful.
pictures?
Yes. I think they speak for themselves. Give me just a moment here.
Sure.
Excuse me, my nose is so sore from blowing it.
Oh, mine
Well, let's
too.
talk about this. The rent from 8/1
Through 8/1.
with some through 8/1 is $3,902.36, and you gave some credit because he left the
Stove and refrigerator.
stove and refrigerator. Mr. Wright, Mr. Wright, can you hear me?
It's like somebody's living in it. I don't know.
Mr. Wright, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, there's a scene in
Okay.
The Simpsons where they say, "Ma, get off the dang roof. I don't want to do this hearing with you while you're on the roof and have you fall off there."
I'll
So
get down,
I want
sir.
you to
I'll
get down
down.
off the roof before we address
On
this.
your roof?
So get off the dang
Yes, sir.
roof. I'll be with you in a minute. All right. $3,902.36 in rent. Cleaning excessive filth. I'll put him in the waiting room
He
before
had
he falls off.
lizards in there. He built shelves on the walls for his lizards.
Well, I thought everybody did that.
Mm.
I had a murder case in Mottville in 1996. And the police went in there to look at it, and it was full of lizards and reptiles.
Ugh.
Scared them. They were in cages, but there was also a hedgehog running around in there. All right, cleaning excessive filth, $250. Is that correct?
Yes,
Replacing one bedroom door because of large hole, $130. Repaint bathroom, $125. Repair several holes in the walls, repaint through house, $300.
yes, sir.
In dealing with him, he didn't seem like that kind of a guy.
I
He
know.
seemed
I-
respectful, and this surprised me when I saw it.
Well,
All right, turn electric back on after non-payment, $50.
That's
Place
just what
carpet in the living room, $475. Replace carpet in the bedroom, and then you depreciate it. Replace carpet in the other bedroom, $469.89, $484.14. Replace carpet in the closet, $57. How did he ruin all the carpet?
I don't know. He was only there a year.
Yes. Gas, 1607, 2467, 1042. That's
Yes.
all accurate.
Yes,
Haul, 3 8-yard trailers of trash, of furniture, and a dump with labor. That's very inexpensive for that amount of work. $260, and haul 1 truckload of trash to dump with labor, $60. Again, those are very reasonable prices. I had some others where people were charging like hundreds and hundreds for that.
we try to be
So-
reasonable.
Well, you do, when you do a good job on these. Total damage is $7,723.37. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
less the $2,400 security deposit. Total damages would be 530, 53, 23, 37. Is that
That's
accurate?
correct.
Well, court costs are 243.40. The total is 5,56677.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. 556.
5,566.77. This is against Mr. Whitson only, not against
Well,
Mr.
that's
Moore.
because Jack didn't sign on the lease with him.
Okay. Uh,
Excuse me.
Now, getting the judgment is one thing, getting the money is another.
I'm gonna try. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I'll send you that. I think that's it for you today, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I
Thank
have,
you. Have a
All
good
right,
weekend.
guys have a good week. It's about time to head south, I think.
yes, sir, it is. I'm freezing.
Okay.
All
You're
right.
good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Default judgment in the amount of 5,56677. I got this file torn apart. This is a land contract forfeiture action. And there was a lot to it. This is a first hearing, but the defendant, oh, it's a second hearing. We're here on October 31st. Mr. Gold, what's the circumstance here?
He's almost paid off, Your Honor. We've paid taxes out. He has a balance of approximately, currently about $2,500. He's more than 6%, he's more than 50% paid in. But I have not received any payments in a very long time. He's only paid to February of 2019.
Wow.
Long time.
How did you come to own these properties out on Ash Road?
My dad bought land contracts throughout the state. We've got a company that does land contract. We buy seller interest in land contracts. And this, I think this was actually, I have to look through the file, but this might have been a foreclosure prior and sold to Mr. McWaters many years ago. I got involved in it when my father got sick. It got deeded over to me recently, and I'm taking care of it now. My father passed away years ago. So we have properties throughout the state. We used to. When there were real interest rates, when it went down to zero, that was the end of that.
Yes.
I think that killed the whole mortgage industry when kaput.
It's certainly in a different wavelength now. All
Yeah.
right, at the time of filing, the notice was for $1,460, late fees, taxes 1,911.83, and the total was 2,911 was past due. That would have been as of August. The original selling price was $16,000. And so they have paid more than 50%. And I'm going to use that figure, Mr. Gold. I've got your most recent complaint alleges $3,759.56. Is that acceptable?
Yes, sir. Plus costs, if we can hit that.
I think we have service by certified mailing. Do we have a second mailing? Unfortunately, we don't have personal service. I can't do a default. Do you see it?
I did not see it, no.
All
I
right.
know that the process service went by the property 3 times and the occupant who's there now, friends of the owner, told me that, called me and told me that they got served.
Let me look at the electronic file. As I said, this file got taken apart. You ever been to St. Joe County?
Yep, many times.
Okay. I would suggest you come in the
Nice
summer.
place. I used to fly airplanes and I was at the airport once.
Okay.
Till tuition got in the way.
That's a nice little airport. Proof of mailing. I don't believe we have personal service by attachment is what we have. The occupant is Ray Fairfield Jr. So there's an occupant in there. States Marty McWaters completely moved out over a year ago and he stays in Illinois. Not home, not home, not home. All right, I have to continue this. To next Friday. We'll fit this in here somewhere. Let's take a look. I expect it to be a default. Yeah, that's a pretty good land contract. You don't pay anything and you just leave. Put somebody else in there as a squatter.
Well, legally they're a squatter, right? But they're friends of his. It's, they were there when he was there. What am I looking
Yeah,
for?
that's commonly known as a tenant at sufferance.
Yeah,
And you're suffering.
more than 3 days by getting them out. They're nice to me. I'm nice to them. No one's fighting.
Okay, oh,
Sounds good.
good. Gee whiz. So we have in the afternoon. 2/20, continue to Friday, November 21. $220, expect default. Problem is they have a 180-day redemption period. So it may be a while before you get this property back, but we'll address it
Right.
next Friday at 2/20.
Our idea is really that the taxes are going to go to default, and if we can do something with this, then we don't mind laying out the rest of the taxes for the 2023s. That'll take care of that. The people in the property would like to buy it, but
Is this
we'll have to see what
so
we're going to do.
Mr. Fairfield would like to buy it?
I think he would like to. I think his wife would like to buy it. They're there anyways. What am I going to do? If they want to buy it
Well,
after
that
it's sold,
sounds like at least a plan of a plan.
that's right.
All right, Mr. Gold, it's nice to make your acquaintance.
Same
I
here,
will
Your
see you
Honor.
next Friday at 2:20.
2:20.
Yes,
2:20 Friday, next Friday on Zoom.
on Zoom.
Terrific. Your Honor, have a wonderful weekend. Pleasure meeting you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have a wonderful weekend because 20 people have asked me to do that. All right, Ms. Lewis, let's address your cases.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Wright, would you join me, please? Unmute your mic. Can you hear me, sir?
Yep,
Yeah, who's your landlord?
Carter.
Carter who?
I'm not sure of his last name.
Let me see. I don't think we're here at the right time for your case. Let me see if I could find it.
My case was at 1:15, but I was late because I'm at work.
115, Judge. I believe it's 2115.
Oh, Mr. Buckland. You got, yeah, you don't show up at 3 o'clock for a 115 hearing. You got a default judgment against you. You have to pay, I don't even remember what it was, the rent, within 10 days. I would suggest you call Mr. Buckland's office in Coldwater. We'll send you a copy of that judgment. You can move to set the default aside. I don't even have the file with me anymore. It was taken away a couple of hours ago. So I'm glad you didn't fall off the roof, but you're 90 minutes to 2 hours late for your hearing. And you already did it. So you owe a substantial amount of rent. I don't know the number. We'll send you the judgment, or you can call the court and they'll give it to you. But I'll let you get back to your work site. But that's what happened when you show up late. I'm sorry, I couldn't figure out what the deal was. All right. Okay, things like that happen. All right, let's go back to Miss Gales and Miss Lewis. Miss Lewis, this is filed as a non-payment of rent case. What's the current arrearage?
$400.
Give me that again.
$6,400.
Through November?
Yes.
The time of filing, it was $5,500 in arrears. Miss Gales, what's your position?
She had said, well, about a year ago, I had some issues with all of my Cash App stuff, and she was saying that she wasn't getting payments through Cash App. And I had the screenshots saying that it was completed and that she had gotten it into her account. And then the month of August or September, we didn't have water here for a month. I had to go everywhere else to shower. I couldn't cook food because I couldn't use the water here. I couldn't wash the dishes. I couldn't even wash my hands if I wanted to for an entire month. I'm not gonna pay rent somewhere that I can't even live or
Well, there is a way to
livable.
do it where that you put your rent into escrow. You could benefit from assistance from legal aid, I think. But Miss Lewis, when did you actually last receive rent?
August, before the water issue started. I have 6 units in that apartment. It was a brief issue. I have documents from the White Pigeon City Water Department. So her claim is untrue.
Well, just if you could answer my question, when did you last receive any rent from
August.
her? August. So it's $800 a month. Do we agree on that?
No, the rent was increased to 900.
How long was the unit without water?
It wasn't without water. There were some pressure issues. And the city took care of it pretty quickly. So I have a pressure test from them that was done on September 9th. And the pressure was good. I texted Michaela on September 10th to see that if we could get into the property and do a pressure test at her valves. And she did not text me back and has not texted me back since then.
All right, Miss Gales, it's now November. Do you wish to stay there or do you wish to move?
I would love to stay here, but I went for a month without water. I had no water here. I also
All
wasn't
right, well,
informed that the unit under
that's
me
what
was,
you said. She disputes that, but all right, so you haven't paid September, October, or November's rent. So we've got to figure out how much the arrearage is. Yes.
Filed as a complaint to recover possession of property, not for
Oh,
non-payment.
no, it's a termination of tenancy. It is,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
All right, well, now we got retaliatory eviction issues. Let's take a look. She wants you to move. Yeah, I wrote this down. It's a month-to-month. The tenancy was 10/23. So in October of 24, it became month to month. The lease says $800 a month. Apparently at some point it got increased to 900. I don't see that anywhere, but they want you to move. You may be claiming that she's evicting you because you complained about not having water, which is called a retaliatory eviction. Either way, you could use some legal advice. I'm gonna continue this matter to next Friday, which is gonna be very busy. Friday, November 21st. I set that last one for. 2:20, 2:30. Now, Miss Gales,
Yep.
I can't see you. I don't want to do this without being able to see you. So next week, I want you either to come in or be able to do Zoom. But they're asking that you be evicted. If they got what they asked for, you would have 10 days from next Friday to move out. Now,
Okay.
you're raising some defenses, sort of obtusely, but your contention is that she's evicting you for some other reason. Her contention is that the lease became month to month. She sent you a notice to quit in September and you didn't move. So she filed this action to terminate your tenancy. So she's filing it just as a termination of tenancy, in that the allegation is that your lease is month to month. She gave you a month's notice. You didn't vacate. So she filed this action. Meg Bauer has joined us from legal aid, but she's about to be involved in another complicated matter. So I would suggest that you contact legal aid, but also suggest that you might want to prepare to move, because ultimately she's probably going to get what she asked for. But we'll address this further next Friday at 2:30.
Okay. And will I get another different code for the Zoom call, or do I just use the same one?
You use the same one.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lewis. Thanks for your patience. All right. We got a lot going on right here at the end of a busy day, but let's address a couple matters. We've got a mortgage foreclosure action. Mr. Chevernak is here for Freedom Mortgage versus Valerie Van Horn, Paul Van Horn, and any other occupants. Is anyone here on behalf of those parties? Good afternoon, Mr. Chevernak.
Hi, good afternoon, Your Honor.
We're on the finished home stretch here, but I've got a few cases yet to go.
Saving the best for
This
last.
was a mortgage foreclosure from April. And I had a question about that. Has 180 days passed?
That would have expired in October.
Yes, it did, October. It was served by attachment, but it looks like you have a second mailing.
Yes, that's correct. Given that we would ask for the entry of a default judgment of possession today.
Looks like the property might be vacant. Let me look again at the proof of service.
That's what our client indicated to us when they referred the eviction to us, that they don't believe anyone's living there, that it's just there's just personal property left there.
Our process server, Sergeant Morse from the Sheriff's Department, does an excellent job. Litter violations declared unsafe, posted winterized. Yeah, there's nobody there. It's right here in Centerville. All right, the default granted. Possession date is 11/24/25. I'd ask you to email me a judgment.
Very good. I will email that over today.
All right, thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
This house is kind of looking not too good, so the bank can get it back and improve it and put it back out in circulation. That'd be good for all concerned.
Right. That's what our client indicated to us, that they noticed there was violation stickers on the property.
All right, very good. I'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I don't see Mr. Reed yet. Whispering Pines is set for, what's my sequence here? 3 o'clock. We're not there yet. And then our Golden Pond Estates. Let's talk about that one.
Steve's not here, is he? I'm sorry, Attorney
No,
Cromartie's
it's not.
here.
No, we got Whispering Pines, we got Enchanted Glen, and then our other messy case. So we got extra. Enchanted Glen was set actually for 250, and it is 250. So let's call that one. This is Enchanted Glen Apartments versus Evan English and Abby Everling. Abby Everling is present. Gary Popovich is present. Manager is also present. And Megan Bauer is here, Meg Bauer from Legal Aid. There was some lengthy discussion on September 12th, further discussion on September 26th. The matter was continued to October 10th, and I believe I entered a judgment. The defendant's contention was.
There's no judgment in this case,
There's no,
Judge.
no, that's the other one. All right, Ms. Bauer has filed pleadings on behalf of the defendant, and that was set for this afternoon at 2:50 because they thought I'd have a lot of time. There were issues in this case, as there often are, with the recertification of the rent. Mr. Popovich and Ms. Bauer have a pretty good history of working together to resolve these matters. Mr. Popovich, I'll defer to you first. What's our current status here?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is Ms. Bowers and I's first case, but we have gotten along well. There's been an easy communication. There was a little delay last week just for me responding to Ms. Bauer because she had advised that today could have been either an eviction, a continued eviction hearing, or a status conference, and her client had some difficulties with her work schedule. There was a delay on my part in responding to her, so I apologize for that lack of courtesy, but I was able to get an email to her last Sunday night confirming that we would conduct today as a status conference if she was still agreeable. So I'm under the impression that we're here today for a status conference by Zoom rather than what would have been required potentially in-person appearance for evidentiary purposes for a hearing. This is a non-payment case, but as you alluded to, Your Honor, non-payment cases where there is subsidies involved sometimes become more complex than simply this amount is owed and this should be paid at a certain period of time. Ms. Bauer has brought to light some arguments regarding recertification. We certainly have the complex's position or its perspective as to the recertification, but from my perspective, and I hope Ms. Bauer still agrees, I think this case, for a global resolution, at least as to the non-payment, we really need to cooperate, get these folks recertified, determine an amount that I'm sure Ms. Bauer and I can agree to, then work to a resolution of that amount and move forward, rather than the complex incurring attorney fees for a contested hearing on amounts that are fairly solvable. I think Ms. Bauer's clients have third-party assistance in line. And then certainly when the recertification is complete, and I think Ms. Bauer will help her clients get to that point, and we've negotiated, my goal would be that other issues involving this tenancy are addressed while they still have counsel. They're not relevant to this case. I'm not about to convolute the record in that regard, but I do find it easiest to work with tenants sometimes when they have the assistance of legal services, such as qualified attorneys such as Ms. Bauer. So that's our overall goal here. And then today was mutually agreed to and then coordinated with your staff, which has been amazing as to their involvement and responsiveness as well, to schedule this for a status conference. And I'll defer to Ms. Bauer and hope I didn't speak out of turn in any manner.
Ms.
Thank
Bauer,
you.
what's your thought?
This case has certainly been a tricky case. My clients have attempted to get assistance to cover disputed back rent, but that third-party assistance has been turned away by the property manager. That third-party assistance is not going to be around forever, and so we need information, and we need cooperation. I have not gotten a ledger in this case, so there are some difficulties there. I'm told as of Thursday that the plaintiff needs my client to submit a bunch of new recertification documents, but my clients have been going into the complex and office manager repeatedly for months to sign different documents here and there. My review of the records indicate that the office manager takes an average of 2 months to complete recertifications, which is in excess of what's required by the law, and is the source of the complication in this case, because we had some changes in employment history involving 2 adults in the household in short order. And that's a good thing, because that means when resident lost a job, resident isn't without a job for an extended period of time, resident is getting reemployed. But that does make the timeliness of these issues all the more important. So I agree with my colleague, Attorney Popovits, that we need to get the rent set, and we need to get this third-party assistance agency the number, but that doesn't matter if the property manager is not going to facilitate or cooperate and turn that assistance away. So my hope is that we can continue to work.
Let me stop you for a minute. The law has changed. At one point, the landlord could agree or disagree to participate in the funding programs, but the law changed and now they're required to. So I'm not sure how the timing of all that works. So the bottom line is, everybody agrees we ought to be able to get to a solution. It's a number. We got to come to the number. There's a funding source prepared to assist with the funding, and that's a blessing. And so would there be any benefit? Now, Meg, you've got another case you got to deal with me on. I thought you were already gone.
I thought I was going to be gone, Judge.
So there are several cases today that could have benefited from your assistance, and I thought you were already headed out for your time off. So did you stay behind for this?
This and a couple of other outstanding cases that need to get wrapped up. So I said I was okay with this one since I was going to end up being here anyways.
Well, we had a case this morning where the Centerville Mobile Home Park, she got defaulted. She claimed that she gave all of her documents to you. You were going to appear on her behalf. She didn't know what was what. We hadn't got any pleadings. He hadn't got any pleadings. I thought you'd already left. So we entered a default, and that would be Ms. Zerley. So she may be calling you.
I did not agree to represent that individual. I am not certain that an attorney-client relationship can be formed.
Well, we had a hearing, and I didn't frankly believe everything she told me. And I made a finding that she owed a certain amount of money. And it's one of those termination of the lot cases that Mr. Reed likes. And so we'll see where it goes. But we didn't do a default. We actually had a hearing. She was here. As far as this case goes, would it be beneficial to put you in a breakout room and use the time we've got now?
If I may,
Yep.
I don't know that use of time is necessarily beneficial, although I appreciate the opportunity, Your Honor. So I would have a different perspective from landlord's perspective as to the communications or the nature of the relationship as to the recertifications. I say that for Kim's benefit, who's here. I don't want to belabor the he said, she said of why recertifications aren't done. But Meg and Miss Bauer and I completely agree that this is a resolvable case as to the non-payment.
Well, then let's set it out a few weeks and see where we go. That'll give you guys, Ms. Bauer's gonna be gone for a bit.
Yeah, and if I could just elaborate, we'll certainly work with her schedule. Sounds like she's already delayed it, which I hate to see happen from just a professional courtesy standpoint. So I apologize to her for being here. But I will say, my perspective on the recertification is I want to utilize this rather than just taking third-party assistance, paying a ledger, and then having there be a dispute as to the correct rent amount. I want to use this platform for us to help these parties complete a recertification that for whatever reason hasn't been done. Once they move forward, then they'll have a confirmed rental amount with payment caught up through this third-party agency. And also without getting into, I don't believe this was confidential communication, my client we will work with the third party. I don't know, and Kim and I have talked about this briefly through email, but we're not hesitant to accept third-party assistance here. It's a non-payment case. So, Your Honor, set it out to cooperate with Ms. Bauer's schedule.
Well, how about if we set it to Monday? Is this too far? Monday, December 15th at 2:30? I can do it sooner than that.
If you could do it sooner, only because I'm booked on the 15th. I just scheduled a
All
day.
right, well, let's take a look
set of
then.
depositions, and I'd like to be. I do have attorneys here that could cover for me, but I think that would kind of be counterproductive.
It's always helpful to have the main attorney. How about December 8th?
And that, Judge, you're gonna think I gallivant all around the world, but I'm gone that week as well, and I will also be out of cell signal.
Why
Well,
would
that
want you to
takes
cover
us
it on
to
your vacation? Like that would not be-
December 5th is gonna be an excruciating day. Let's see what we got.
We actually leave on the 4th, Judge.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I've put all my
Uh,
vacation time at the end of the year, so you guys had to suffer
All
through me.
right, well, that takes us to
I can try to secure coverage. I don't.
No, again, like Mr. Popovich, it's better to have somebody that knows what the deal is. 3. Our December 1st at, it's already full, 2:30. Does that work?
It appears to work on my end.
I'll make sure it does on mine.
Now, the problem is that's not a lot of time because of the Miss Bauer's gonna be gone. Then we have the Thanksgiving holiday and then there that is. So I'm not sure that's enough time to do this.
I will be back those few days, so on my end, I can't speak for my colleague, but
All
I'm
right,
happy
well,
to try to
let's,
get this resolved sooner than later.
Yeah,
December 1st at 2:30.
and then Your Honor and Meg, when are you leaving? Today? In minutes?
In -3 hours.
Okay, so we talked yesterday, and I don't want to put a lot of this on the record, but let's while you're gone, if you could just have your clients work on the recertification. My client's aware of that. I did just send you the ledger as well. And if you wanted to relay your clients that the third-party agency can call either Kim or myself, we'll do some legwork while you're gone. So when you get back, we can maybe hit the ground running with a resolution.
I believe the third-party agency needs representation that your client is not planning to proceed with a termination immediately following this case.
All right, well, I'll talk with my client about that. I appreciate that
Yeah,
information.
if I could speak real quick, I do apologize. I just want to be clear that again, as my attorney said, I do have a third party that's willing to help pay. But they're just really wanting to know like a set amount, because I know when we initially talked about this.
All right,
we
we've
were-
got all that. We
This-
understand.
Yeah, so I
And
just
they
want to make
also
sure that
understand, they
I
don't want you to
know.
just pay the rent and find out you're gonna be evicted anyway.
Yeah, so that's what they're worried about, and that's what I'm kind of trying to get figured out. And so
All right.
hopefully this can get figured out sooner than later.
All right, we're all on the same page. All right, December 1st, 2:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Everybody's good to go.
Kim,
Thank you,
I'll be in
Mr.
touch.
Tucker.
Enjoy your time off,
All right,
Mike.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Judge.
Thanks, Gary.
All right, so we've got Mr. Reed, and then we've got our emergency hearing. All right, Kim, you're good to go. This is Whispering Pines versus Shauna Berry, and she is here. She was here earlier. This is another lot only matter. We determined last week that the rent was $2,575, $179.10 in cost for a total of $2,754.10. Mr. Reed, what's our situation here today?
I believe it is the same as we were at last week. Rebecca, is that accurate?
That's correct. As of I think it is yesterday, I went to DHS to get help for the back rent.
Very good. I'm not sure that DHS will pay lot rent. Did they indicate that they would?
I have the emergency release the I think it's like the emergency release something or another that I had an open case on. So like as soon as I got the eviction, they said that they would help me.
All right, well, I'm going to give you the hard fast number. This is lot only through November. Of course, there's going to be another month's rent due on December 1st.
Yeah, and I'm like right now I'm really struggling. My son was living with me, and he was the one helping with the bills. So
you mentioned that.
now that he's out on his own,
go ahead.
I have a job, but they're not giving me the hours that I need to even try to live
Now,
off.
you told me who actually owns the trailer.
Well, it's been in my family for a while. My brother's the one that has the deed to it.
All right, well, this is difficult. Hopefully you can get some emergency help, but there's another month's rent due on December 1st. So through November, rent is $2,575, $179.10 in costs, for a total of $2,754.10. And your rent is $475. So another $475. Is $3,229.10.
Her rent's 500.
It turns out to be 500 a month, Your Honor, with the
All right, well, add $25. $3,254.10. Anyway, these are the numbers. You can share these with DHS through November, $2,754. You have 10 days to pay that, which will be November 24th. No money judgment is entered this time. Partial payment will not prevent the writ of eviction. And the appeal date is also November 24th. My suggestion is always you stay in contact with the manager and let her know what your intentions are. This was not filed as a just cause termination. If that was the case, you would have 10 days to vacate the mobile home and 90 days to move it or sell it. This is just a demand that you pay your lot rent or they will remove the trailer. That's easy to say and hard to do. It's expensive to move these trailers, and I'm not sure where this one can even be moved. And if it is to be moved, there is a question as to where is it moved to? So you might work out some sort of agreement where you sign the trailer over to the park or they agree to purchase it. I don't know. But you have to pay that amount or you're subject to being having your trailer removed from the lot. The amount is hard through November, so that's the accurate number. But as I said, add another 500 to include December. So take this to DHS, I would say on Monday to make sure they know. They don't have to evict you on November 24th. They can agree to work with you for up to 56 days from today. But then we'd be in November, December, and January. So you're in a tough spot. You need to stay in contact with your manager, DHS. If you can get your funding squared away, good. If you can't, you might have to think about seeking other housing options. Do you have any questions?
As soon as I get off the phone here, I'm gonna call DHS and see if, because see what it was, if I'm in a, like you said, I'm in a tight spot. I have no way to go to Centerville, and like, so yesterday I asked the court if there was a way that I could get like the amount that I needed to be faxed over to them. And so I got a hold of DHS and they said they'd give you guys a call. So as soon as I get off, I'll call DHS and see if they're gonna help me.
Well, I hope so. All right, good luck with that. Hope there's still somebody there to court after 5 on Friday. There is at the court. We're here all the hours we say we're gonna be here. All right, you're good to go. I wish you good luck. Hello.
Hi. So,
Deputy
question.
Carl is here to say hello. Shauna, good luck to you. Mr. Reed, thank you.
Thank you. You had the judgment, correct?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
All right. Thank
Carl's
you.
in here wearing a Purdue jacket, so we're gonna have
Oh,
to
wow,
ask
good for
him.
him. Boiler up. All right.
Other than that, it's nice to see him. All right, Rebecca, thank you.
Thank you.
That's a tough case. She's struggling, and I hope she can get where she needs to be.
May I?
Yes?
I really appreciate your time today.
All right, nice to meet you face
I'll
to
come
face.
and maybe we can have lunch sometime.
I like that.
Thank you very
All
much,
right,
Ron.
thank
Have a
you.
great
That's our
weekend.
distinguished member of the Jackson County Bar Association. Came all the way down here just to watch a little of this. Chanted Glen, Whispering Pines. We have one more case to go, which is set for 3:10, which is a few minutes ago. How are you, Carl?
Pretty good, yourself?
Good. I'm on the record here and we're alive, so I don't want to go into things too much. What brings you over here?
Some paperwork I need to get for Mary,
Okay.
so I'll talk to you later, but.
All right, yeah, I'll be here a little bit longer.
Let you know that eventually we'll be back.
Okay.
So,
That's Deputy Hunky, who's the only ones around that still remember stuff that I remember.
yes, that's quite true. Yeah, good afternoon.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bauer, no one's here. This is Golden Pond Estates versus Shasta Coons, Kyle Lewis and others. maybe Mr. Cromendike will join us shortly.
I spoke with him last night and
Well, I got a note says defendant has vacated, will not need writ on unresolved issue. That was November 10th. Then parties close to resolution can continue at 11/14. So yeah, what's our status here?
I thought that he was going to send over a signed version of a document that we had discussed. I haven't heard from him today, so I prompted him maybe an hour ago with a copy with my signature on it, but also sent the editable version in case he had changes. And I haven't heard from him, so I'm not, I guess I hope he's okay. I don't think there's any reason to keep this on your docket any longer. This is post judgment. We were discussing setting aside the writ so that it
Yes,
doesn't affect
yes.
the history. So it should be a pretty straightforward stipulated order. They were in
Oh, so
agreement last night.
there's an stipulated order is coming.
That's the plan, yeah. At least as of last night and my understanding of our conversation.
All right, thank you. And I'm glad I caught up with you on that other matter. That I understand the circumstance, and so it's not an issue that legal aid was going to be representing her. All right, you have a good trip, and then you have another good trip, and then you have another good trip after that, and I'll catch up with you sometime. I think one place you're going is cold and one place is warm, so go to the cold place, and I'll see when you get back.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good week.
All right,
Well,
thank
good
you.
weekend now and then a good week.
All right, thanks.